folks, it's Norm Bergen here, taking you on an insider's tour of Jasper National Park. Today we are here at the former location of Jasper House. So as you drive into the park from Hinton going westward, you will notice when you get inside just a ways, there is a commemorative rock on the right-hand side of the road or the north side of the road. As you see that rock, there's a plaque on that rock that identifies the site of the former Jasper House. And so as you take a look here, over top of my right shoulder, you can see a clearing on the other side of the river. This is the Athabasca River. You'll see a clearing over there, and that is the original, well, it's not the original, but it is the second location of Jasper House. Jasper House is a National Historic Site and was a trading post on the Athabasca River that actually existed at two different locations for most of the 1800s. Jasper House was named in honor of Jasper House. Jasper House worked this area between 1814 and 1817. Now what we need to know is that Jasper House was the local postmaster in that time frame and had many duties in addition to that went along with being the rural postmaster. The first location is believed to have been at Brule Lake, downstream from the present site. The second Jasper House was constructed at the northern end of Jasper Lake around 1830 and provided staging and supplies for travelers crossing the Yellowhead and Athabasca Pass. There's not much left of the ruins of Jasper House, but we do have an idea of what it looked like from the works of two different people. One is a picture, the other is a drawing. In 1846, artist Paul Kane made a sketch of Jasper House, which he wrote consisted of only 3 miserable log huts. Then, during the 1870s, the Canadian Pacific Railway Surveying Party visited the area, and Charles Horetsky took his famous photographs of Jasper House. So folks, we can see what Jasper House actually looked like up until the time it was closed in 1884. Early in the 1890s, Louis Swift, an American homesteader, and his wife Suzette took up residence in the valley and moved into the abandoned buildings. Unfortunately, they moved on after a few years, and the building was destroyed in 1909 when the lumber was used by surveyors for the Grand Trunk Pacific Railway in order to make a raft. What a lot of people don't know about Jasper House, folks, is that not only was it across the river over here, but it was also a place where they say about 23 people have been buried. Some of those graves are marked with white rock, and others have simply disappeared with time. According to Suzette Swift, who lived at Jasper House in the 1890s, the last man was buried there in 1895, and 3 or 4 others in the 1880s and 1890s. All the other graves were much older. In 1911, Mary Schaefer, who had been up into the Jasper National Park on many different adventures trying to locate and document Maligne Lake, came here to this site. We are so grateful that she took some lantern slides of the few remaining logs and the graveyard, although the graveyard at that point in time was in a very bad state. Because that graveyard is sacred and hallowed ground, we need to properly identify those grave sites, even if it takes ground searching radar, and mark them and fence off that area to establish the fact that it is the sacred ground that we know that all graveyards are. So as we come here and as we explore this area, just remember, folks, this is hallowed ground. So just be careful of what you do, where you step, and please pay your respect. Stay safe, be well, and I'm going to see you in the mountains.
This land